Oh, that's good stuff. Where'd you come from? I'm just kidding. Anyways, I'm feeling good. I'm talkative right now, so let's just get into it, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, Bear wants to be a part of the video. He's a clean dog. He's on a clean slate today. We both took our baths. With further ado, blah, blah, blah. Hello pals and gals, my name is GrannyAnn and you're watching GrannyAnn Creates. I hope you're all doing well today. Okay, bye Bear. Anywho, I hope you're all doing well. I hope your day is going beautifully and you're just enjoying this wonderful weather that we've got going on outside. In this video, I wanted to go over some of the embarrassments that I have had throughout my pregnancy. So let's go ahead and get into that, right? One of my embarrassments that I've had through pregnancy is gas and flatulence. If you don't know what flatulence is, that's just farting. But it's something that I think every pregnant woman goes through. You're a little bit more gassy, or your hormone levels are up and down and your diet's changing constantly. So it's something that we are all gonna go through at some point during our pregnancy. So if you've gone through that, or if you're afraid of going through that, don't be embarrassed by it. You know, this is something that all of us have gone through, whether we were pregnant or not, and it's just a normal part of life. So that's something that I have gone through. I notice that when I do keep my diet intact, when I'm eating things that I know aren't going to make me gassy, and when I do supplement myself with things that are kind of better for my stomach, it does help keep up on that kind of stuff. So I have experienced gas and flatulence throughout my pregnancy. It's not so bad to the point where it's like an everyday thing. It's really, I'll have a bad day if I'm eating bad things for a weekend, or if I'm having a binge where I'm eating crazy things and things that I know will give me gas. That's when I really am gassy most of the time. But for the most part, if I'm eating a good healthy diet, and if I'm supplementing things like chia seed, oatmeal, things with fiber in them, it doesn't make me as gassy as it would if I were just eating fast food every single day, because pregnancy, you get that excuse to eat whatever you want. And yeah, so I do like to have for breakfast, I like to have a nice chia seed oatmeal, or pudding, whatever you like to call it. I call it oatmeal, but when I have that, it really does keep up on my dietary needs. So if I need to go and use the bathroom, I'm able to go once a day at least. So it helps to keep up on that. And with that being said, it does help to keep up on the gassiness, because I'm not so backed up in my system that I just have gas coming out, I guess. But yeah, burping, not so much. When it's burping, it's more of when I have heartburn, which is something that I did have very bad in the beginning of my pregnancy, but because I've been eating a lot better, the heartburn really doesn't leak into having that kind of burping backwash type deal stuff. But I do have my days, you know, it really just depends on what I'm eating. But that is one of the little embarrassments that you get, you know, like if you're out and about, it's bound to happen here and there. Or if you had some kind of a meal that just has those kind of items in it, you know, some meats that just don't work well with your body, beans, pinto beans for me, those do give me really bad heartburn right now, so I like black beans better. But like if we have chili, or if we have things of that nature, that is when I do notice, or fast food, that's when I notice that my gassiness does really come out more. And when I'm having constipation, if I'm having days where I'm just backed up and I didn't take my magnesium, or I didn't have my chia seed oatmeal, or I didn't have oatmeal, those are the days that I really do notice that my gassiness is just increased a little bit more during the night most of the time. But otherwise, that's really all I have to say on that bad boy. This one is one that has been a part of my life from the very beginning, and it gets frustrating really more of the time than an embarrassment, but it's sweating, underarm sweat. I don't know about you, but being pregnant, it just makes me so much more sweatier on my underarms, in my inner thighs. And I think that too is just because from gaining so much more weight, and just as my body is kind of filling in again, my thighs have kind of gotten closer to each other, so there's a lot more friction created as I walk, and because of that, sweat and condensation builds up, which is normal. But yeah, so sweating is one of the things that I do have troubles with. Plus, with it being hot outside, it's easier for me to sweat, but I do have underarm sweat. Not all the time, but I do have my days where it's really frustrating if I'm wearing a shirt that just has like closed in on my underarms. I can feel the sweats, I get sweat stains, and it can be embarrassing. It can be embarrassing when you don't realize that you have them, and if you go and lift your arms up and you realize that you have it after, or the fact that somebody already saw it, it's kind of embarrassing in that sense, but it's a normal body thing, you know. It's just something that we all have to deal with, and when you're pregnant, I feel that it really does become more prominent, and it can be a factor for some women that just cannot stand it. It makes them feel nasty or disgusting, and hold that space for yourself, you know. It's okay to feel that way, you know. We all go through it. It's not fun. It's very uncomfortable sometimes, but just remember it's your body doing normal body things. So yeah, and I mean, like, my BO doesn't really counteract that. If I didn't put on deodorant, then yes, of course it does. But if I'm wearing my deodorant and I'm nice and washed up, I'm clean, when I sweat, it's really just sweat. There's really no BO that comes with it. It's just annoying sometimes when you have sweat stains, or if you can feel sweaty pits. It's just, it gets annoying. Oh my goodness. This one's an embarrassing one. It's forgetfulness. When it comes to my forgetfulness, I put this one down as an embarrassment because in general, I am quite a forgetful person. So being this pregnant, it has amped up quite a bit. I forget the smallest things. I forget sentences. If we're watching TV or something and there's something I need to remember, I will forget that very quickly. But the most embarrassing part about it is I have forgotten midwife appointments. I have forgotten my doctor appointments before, and this was really more in the beginning when I wasn't making sure to put it on my calendar, or to have an app for it, or to have like an actual physical calendar where I can look at a week before and see like, okay, I need to start planning for this appointment next week. But it gets embarrassing sometimes. Like when I first forgot, I forgot like my second appointment when I first got pregnant. I forgot about it, and we were over at our friend's house and we were just hanging out, and then it comes around, and then like 15 minutes after the appointment had started, I get a text from the midwife and she's telling me, "Hey, are you coming?" And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I forgot. So I think that's one that for me, it was embarrassing because I didn't want to waste her time. I didn't want to let her think that I was one of those people that's just like, oh yeah, whatever, you know. But it can be embarrassing sometimes when you forget these things, or if somebody tells you something and you were listening to them. It's just that so much has happened in that few moments that you were talking, or you went to go do something and then you completely forget what they were talking about, or forget something that they said and then they bring it up and you're like, wait, what? It can be embarrassing sometimes. And when it comes to me forgetting things, it's just, I don't like forgetting things, you know. I feel like for some people it makes them feel like, well, were you even listening to me? Like I just told you what I needed to tell you, and we set this up. How did you forget that? And they understand, of course they understand, because they know I'm pregnant, and if they know me as a person, they know that I was forgetful before. But it can just be embarrassing sometimes, so I wanted to throw that one in there because it's one of my embarrassments. Now these next few all kind of coincide with each other, but hunger is one of my little embarrassments. Just finger food picking all the time. I feel like I'm always eating nowadays. It's not always like these big dramatic, like here I just had a meal and oh, let me just go to the store and go grab me a nice sandwich off the rack, or let me go to the fast food place and go get myself a burger, or like let's go get a salad or something, you know what I mean? It's just, it's not like that, but it's the fact that like if we like go to an occasion or something like that, and we have a meal and I see something like sitting over there and I'm like, ooh, finger foods. I cannot help myself to go and just boop, boop. Like one time we went to my grandparents and my grandma noticed that I was eating all of the fruit. She noticed I was eating the cherries, and so she was like, here, take them. Do you want to take them home with you? And I was like, well, I just wanted to eat them, but yes, I will take them. But it's just things like that, or like when we go over to his mom's for breakfast on Sundays, it's one of those things, like she knows to have food out. So like this last time we went, she had orange slices, she had cantaloupe, she had grapes, she had the meal, and she knew. And so I was like, you know what's about to happen right now. And yeah, so it's just one of those things. I feel like I'm constantly always finger picking and just grabbing things here and there. It's like random little things, you know, like I'll literally like open a bag of chips and just eat a couple chips and then put them away, or like I'll just go and like I'll grab some nuts. Or like last night I was waiting for Bear to finish eating his food so we can go to bed, and I was just like, you know what, while I'm here, let me just grab out the yogurt really quick. I'm gonna take a few bites of that. And my partner comes down and I'm over here sitting over the counter eating yogurt while I'm waiting for Bear, and he's just like, what are you doing down here? And I'm just thinking, nothing. I'm not eating before bed after I was just about to go upstairs and eat an apple with some peanut butter. But yeah, so with the next thing, it is really my mood swings. Mood swings. And these can be kind of embarrassing sometimes, you know? It makes me feel like a little kid at times, because like I'll throw my little fits and it's just like, I know that it's just a mood swing, and consciously I know that there's nothing wrong with it. I know that it's not me being a mean person, and it's not me. It's just an emotion that I'm feeling in that moment, and it just came up out of nowhere. So like we'll be sitting on the couch watching TV, or we'll be sitting together talking, and then out of nowhere I just get aggravated, or I just get irritated and mad. And so I was kind of like, and yeah, and then he'll just ask me like, hey, you okay? And I'm just like, yeah, I'm fine. And he's just like, what's wrong? Nothing. And then he's just stuck like, did I say something? What did I do? I don't know. Or like if we have guests over and I'm already in a bad mood, I go down there and I'm just kind of like, hey, how are you? Like, I don't mean to be rude. I really don't mean to be rude. And it's something that is an embarrassment for me, because I'm more conscious of it, and I know when I'm in the middle of a mood swing, or when I'm feeling like all happy and fine, and then out of nowhere just bam, mad, anger. And it can be embarrassing sometimes, because I think that people take it more personally than they should, and they think it's more of me aiming some kind of aggression towards them, but really it's just me going through it. And I don't really like to talk about it very often. Like I do have the mood swings where like I get sad and sappy and cryy, and then I have my mood swings where I'm just mad and angry and I don't want to talk to anybody, and then I have my mood swings where I'm happy, I'm fine, I'm nice, like right now. When it comes to those kind of things, I know that it's really just an emotion, something that'll pass, so I don't like to delve into it. So let me be pregnant for a second. Let me just chill here in this emotion. It's okay. I'm not mad at you. It's just my emotions acting up. So it can be hard for some people who don't understand that, and it can just get on their nerves a little bit here and there. And I try not to let it get the best of me, but it's something that you go through when you're pregnant, and it's something that I am embarrassed by from time to time, especially when we have guests over and they get to witness a little kid fit pretty much. And yeah, like I said, like I don't really take it out on anybody. I'm not like downing anyone or talking crap to anybody. It's really more of just, you can see it in my face. You can tell just within me. If you know me as a person, you know I'm not like that. You know I'm a lot happier, and I'm very much just a nicer person to people in general. So when you see me with any kind of attitude in my face just has to let the whole world know what I'm feeling 24/7. It can be kind of hard for people to understand that it's just me dealing with that, and I'm conscious of it, I'm aware of it, and I don't need as much consoling as some people think that I would. So it differs for other people. Some people really do need that talking to, some people, and there are days when I do feel like, you know, like I just need somebody to talk to. And yeah, so like I'll go from being mad and then I'll go to being sad, and it's just like these days, honestly, like when I do get in that sad feeling, it's really like I just want my baby. All I want is my baby. I just wish he was here so I could just hold him and just, I already know he would take that emotion away immediately. So it differs for everybody, but that's one of the ones for me. And then going on to that, this one that is combined by both hunger and mood swings is hanger. Oh my goodness, Hangry Belle, when she likes to come out, she will come out. A lot of the times when I am mad, it is due to my hunger, and it is due to me waiting just a little bit too long, and I am now mad because I am hungry, and I will throw a fit. And it's embarrassing sometimes, you know what I mean? Because I know that I'll throw a fit about it, and I know like I can be so mad, and then the second that somebody puts any kind of food inside of me, I'm fine and I'm back to normal, and I'm just like, oh, hey, it's me. And my partner, he's the one that really gets to deal with the bulk of that because he's the one around me the most when I'm eating and when I'm hungry. So yeah, that one just, it can be embarrassing sometimes just because it's again like a little kid thing, and it's like I tell him, is preparing him for our child. If he can deal with me now, he can definitely deal with our child, because the things that I do now are close to what a child would do when they get mad and they're hungry and they just want some attention, or if they're just hungry and they want food and all of that good stuff. So that's one that kind of just combines into the last two, and I had to point that one out because I have done it many times. Another thing that is an embarrassment for me is itchiness. And for me, I don't have abdominal itchiness, so my stomach doesn't get very itchy. I've been able to keep it well moisturized, but my boobs do, my breasts do, and it can be frustrating sometimes, you know, because like we'll be in public or like we'll be out walking bare and I can feel the itchiness coming on, and it is so hard not to go and itch my boob really quick in public and in just in front of others. And so I have to like sit there and like fight through the itchiness and just like, oh, I don't like it. And yeah, it can be really embarrassing sometimes, like I said, especially in public when I can feel that itchiness coming on and I just really want to itch like the underside of my boob or just like right here on my breasts and everything. It can be embarrassing. And like luckily I have my partner there too. When he sees me like slowly like inching towards it, he's like, hey, we are in public, you need to wait. It's just the little things that are weird about me. So if that's a quirk for any of you, welcome to the club. I'm glad I'm not alone, but that's one that it is for me. It's in public when I'm itchy and I just can't itch my breasts. And yeah, so I'm like really looking forward to breastfeeding because sometimes I feel like that will be the only relief that will make the itching stop. So this one is the last of this little video. I hope that you've enjoyed this so far, but it's showing my belly. This is an embarrassment, really more for my partner. I don't have a problem with showing my bare belly. If anything, like when we're outside and there's daylight, I do like to pull my stomach up a little bit or my shirt up a little bit to let the light expose to the baby so that he can like do some movements, he'll wake up from it and stuff like that. But for my partner, he doesn't like that. I don't try to do it like if we're in public. Of course I'm not just gonna like bam walk out full belly and everything, but like if we're just walking bare and there's nobody around, I do like to lift it up a little bit and just like let him get some of that sunlight. But my partner hates it. He cannot stand it. Every single time I pull my belly up or my shirt up, he's always like, put that thing away. Like last night I pulled it up so that he can get some moonlight on his little baby belly, and like my partner, he just grabs me by the waist and like slowly comes around and just like pulls my shirt back down. It's just for him it's more of an embarrassment because it's just like, why do you keep pulling your shirt up? Like I feel like a little kid sometimes, like, you know, like you see a 2 to 3 year old and like they just like for some reason they're just like walking around with their shirt up and you're like, put your shirt down. Why do you have your shirt up? Why are you doing that? And that's pretty much me. And partially it's because like I have a belly, look at it. And then the other part of me is like, well, I want him to get sunlight. I want him to have some moonlight. And so Yeah, but that's really an embarrassment for him. But on top of that, it's when my clothes are too small. And for me, it's funny, you know, because this is something that is to be expected when you're pregnant. You're going to get bigger, your clothes aren't going to fit you the same. So when you put on stuff that's just too small for you now, it's funny. For me, at least, it's really funny because like if I put on like one of my nightshirts that for me used to be baggy before pregnancy, and it was just like a normal shirt for me, and like you couldn't really see my belly, you couldn't see my breasts or anything, and now I put it on and I look like this little fat kid with like my half my belly hanging out, and like I'll even wear shorts, or like I'll wear my pants and still some of my belly's poking out and it's all tight and I have to keep pulling it down. It's a little bit embarrassing, like if I decide to wear that shirt and I'm walking around and I see people and I'm just like, excuse me. It's a fun embarrassment, you know? All of these things, they're kind of fun embarrassments, a little more than others and some less than others, but this one of them is kind of a fun embarrassment for me. I just think it's funny that when I put on my clothes, like if I put on a pair of shorts that fit me just like a month ago and I put them on and I can't even get them past my hips, I just like laugh about it because it's just funny to me. I don't know what it is. It's just funny. And then the same thing with my shirts. If I put them on and like they go like only to the top of my belly button or a little bit past my belly button, and then like the last half of my belly's all hanging out. It's just funny to me because like I said, I feel like a little fat kid and I'm just like running around in a shirt with like a size too small for me. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, you know, like these embarrassments, some of them can be a lot more embarrassing than others. Some of them can be difficult to deal with at times, and for other women and other people, it really is a mind game. If something that for me is kind of a fun embarrassment, that can be something that truly bothers another person and that truly gets on their nerves and makes them feel not the greatest. And so all I can say to this is just remember that your body's going through changes. You are changing. Everything around you is changing in these moments. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't feel like it's weird, or don't feel like it's like you're the only one going through it and people are going to look at you differently. If they have kids, if they've had a pregnant wife, if they were pregnant once themselves, or if they've dealt with pregnant people, they understand and they get it. So I just think that it's one of the things that you really have to be okay with going through, you know, and just hold that space for yourself. Know that these changes, they will subside eventually, and everybody's body is different, you know, and that's just something unique about you. You can either make a joke out of it and laugh about it, or you can put it on your mind and dwell on it, and that's really up to you. It's all a mindset thing. And so for me, although I'm not really making them sound like, oh, these are the embarrassments and shame on me and shame on just everything. Like, I have been embarrassed by them and I have had my little like about them. But for the most part, I try to look at it from the bright side and remember that, hey, I'm growing a kid and that's my excuse. So what's yours? No, I'm kidding. But yeah, so just remember that you're going to be changing. You're going to be going through different things, and it's okay. It's all okay. We're all okay in this. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing if you're not subscribed already. Like this video, and you can find me on Instagram at GrannyAnn Creates. I hope you guys all have a beautiful day and stay safe out there.